Columbia City's very own Megan Mullins is with me now. And, of course, you're my favorite fiddleist, Megan. You know that. I made up that word just for you.
I love it. I love it.
But I appreciate you coming on. And, you've toured with everybody. You were on with me during the summer. And the main thing I wanted to bring you on today was your involvement with St. Jude and your involvement with Randy Owen from Alabama, who got country music involved with St. Jude. And I'm sure that, being on tour with him a lot and with Alabama, I'm sure there's conversations that come up about this great place, right?
Oh, absolutely. Randy is who introduced me to St. Jude.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been a huge voice for that. He helped found the Country Cares program in 1989, I think. And so when he did St. Jude events, when I started playing with him, I actually looked it up just so I make sure I got the dates right. But I started playing with him 18 years ago. So I guess it's a long time now that I've been going to do stuff for St. Jude. But it's, there's all the statistics and there's all the, what they've done. And I did look at some statistics. But, they've helped to push the overall survival rate of childhood cancer from 20% to 80%.
Yeah.
And, some of the things that when you take the tour there, that's really what it is. You can read this stuff all day long about all the amazing things that they've done. But really what strikes you when you go is the spirit and the children.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so full of hope and joy, really. There's a chapel where you'll see the surgeons praying with the parents of the kids. And there's murals on the walls. It's not like what you think of being a hospital, but they also, just to know that they take care of every aspect of their journey the whole time they're there. It's just, it's been a blessing to be involved and to be able to experience the resilience and wonderful hope and strength and spirit of these children.
Do you remember the first time you ever went to the hospital? Do you remember what your reaction was when you went in there? Because when I first went there, I was scared because I didn't know. I'm going in there and I'm thinking kids with cancer and, it's going to be very depressing and, you don't want to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing. But, like you just kind of, in a nutshell there, just said it's not like a normal hospital, which we always try to say it's not. It's a place of hope. But what was your reaction when you first went into that hospital?
It was, I think it's kind of similar to you, but I didn't know what to expect, but I thought, gosh, this is going to be sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be sad, and these kids are going to be sick, and it's going to break your heart. And then you walk in, and it's just like, there's so much sunshine in that place. And I don't mean that they have good lighting. It's from the top down. And even the kids, they've got their bikes in the hallways or whatever it is. They care so much. And I've heard stories of people also. I've played with a lot of country artists, and a lot of country artists are involved with St. Jude. But I remember, I think it was John Rich said that he went into a child patient's room, and he's like, "So what are you here for?" And he pointed to a scrap of paper, and it was numbers and dashes and letters, and there wasn't even a name for it yet, but they were fighting it. You know what I mean? It's not we don't know what this is. No, we we are going at it. We're gonna get a plan, and we're gonna go after it.
Yeah, it's just an amazing place. Talking with Megan Mullins here from Columbia City, touring with Alabama and virtually every known musician ever. But it's different for you, too, because, you talked about when you started performing with Randy in Alabama and everything. And in that time, you've got a little girl now. So, when you first went there, you were just going as just a woman. And now you're going there as a mom. How has that changed for you?
Oh, gosh. I tell you, when we went to the last seminar, I bring my daughter out on the road. She comes out on the road with me. With Alabama, she just comes with me. She's 3. But I took her to the Country Cares seminar.
Yeah.
I think it was a couple of months ago. But, yeah, I was like, and I know she's 3, but I kind of explained it to her, and I was like, as a mother, and I'm so grateful and blessed, and I know it, that my child is healthy. Knock on wood and hands to God, but every parent should be grateful, whether your child is healthy or not, should be so grateful that there's a place like St. Jude.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, I think we try to preach that as much as we can. It's, the insurance policy that you may not need now, but you may need it down the road, or some other little boy or little girl may need St. Jude, and that's why it's there. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing that struck me when I was there, there's a few things that stuck out. Like there was one hallway we walked down, and they had all the percentages of like the different kinds of like, and I'm not even going to try to say any of the names right, but like all these different kinds of cancer and how the survival rate had progressed. I'm talking, one of them I think was like 20% to like 78%, and it was like a specific kinds, and that like they have targeted these things, but there's so much money to be made in medicine and healthcare and all these things. Like you're talking about insurance, but like when they figure out something, they don't think, oh, okay, we're going to make a patent or we're going to make some medicine, we're going to sell it. No, they put it out there to the world so more people can be saved, for the health of the world, that's another thing. It's just incredible that there are a research hospital, and they do the research, and then they share what they've learned with everybody.
Yeah, it's amazing. And that protocol goes, from coast to coast to different countries, and, they share it freely, like you said. And that's why St. Jude is such a special place. And, going from the seminar that you talked about being there, I've been there a few times, and you play there when Randy plays. And what is the difference between, or is there one? Like we saw you guys in Fishers in December singing Angels Among Us in that crowd there. And then Angels Among Us is always sung at that seminar in that room with radio people and patients and parents everywhere. Is there a difference when you guys do that song there than there is in just a normal concert?
I would say that it's more, the message is more pointed. I think the message is received differently because we all know why we're there.
Mm-hmm.
We all know what that song means for the children and for St. Jude and for whatever, and that's why we're all there. As in, I feel like in a concert setting, it's more of like, hey, this is for the kids, and I know you're here for like a rowdy country show, and here's a moment to take a pause in that. But I think at St. Jude and especially with the kids there, I mean, the first time that I did the seminar with Randy, and there were kids there and whatever, I was bawling while playing fiddle on Angels Among Us because it was just so it was just so emotional. It was an emotionally charged thing, and it was just, to be there with, and, after you toured the hospital and after it was just kind of like, oh my gosh, like this is, what an incredible situation and what a blessing to be a part of, really.
It is, and I think it kind of just encapsulated everything there because it is a blessing to be part of. It gives you hope, and just hope that at one point in our lives that we don't have to do radiothons like this anymore, and cancer is absolutely 100% cured, and we can move on to whatever the next thing is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say also, aside from playing any St. Jude event, any chance I get, I have also been myself a partner in hope for many years. And another point that I was going to make, I know that there's like big companies and corporations, and they give a lot of money, and that's wonderful. But there's so much that can be done $10 at a time, $20 at a time. Whatever it is, every little bit does count, and you will not find a better cause anywhere than St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Very well said. Megan, thanks so much for taking a few minutes. And please, I don't often enough get to talk to Randy. I know he's always busy. I know we see him at the Radiothon or at the seminar a lot. But, it's one of those things where you don't want to bug him. And, but you just we're just so appreciative of him getting country music involved with St. Jude. So please, on behalf of me and all of our listeners, please thank him for us.
Absolutely. I would absolutely pass that on.
Podcasts by Federated Media.